Alright, it's MK2. Welcome back. We are back in the van. Not because of the transmission. I just drove it. My brother's been driving this car for a while, and he says it drives great. I just drove it. The transmission shifts like a dream. It had to be inspected recently. It passed the emissions, but it failed the safety. They said the front brakes are too thin to pass, so we're going to be doing brake pads. If you remember when I did the transmission, the brake pads were pretty low at that point. I knew they had to be changed pretty soon. So it's been a while, and we're going to change the brake pads today. That's a no-brainer. But the two outer tie rods also failed. So I got the new tie rods, so I'm going to be doing tie rods on both wheels. Actually, the first time I've ever done outer tie rods. But, I mean, how hard can it be after you rebuild the transmission? I mean, I did half the job at least. I had to disconnect the tie rods when I did the transmission, so I don't think I'll have a problem. The only thing I'm worried about is the alignment issue, but again, thanks to the YouTube community, there's several videos on here about how to do an alignment without, or how to do the tie rods without messing up the alignment. So I'm going to be taking some measurements of the wheels, and hopefully, when we're done, the alignment will be undisturbed. So let's get started. First order of business, make sure the steering wheel is straight, so that'll be our reference point. We got the steering wheel straight. Next, I'm going to take a precise measurement of the wheels in relation to where they are now. This might be a little challenging. I'm going to try to get my tape measure on the far tread, just after halfway point on the tire. Okay, so that was a bit challenging. As always, YouTube makes it look easier than it actually is. I made a mark right at the very edge of that mark. Is the relation of the two tires at the same, measured from the same point. The idea is to keep the alignment perfect. You want to have that exact same measurement when you put on the left tie rod and the right tie rod. You want it all to come out to the same measurement, and your alignment should be untouched. Okay, so the hardest part of the job is done. To me, that's taking off the tire and putting it up on a jack stand. Got the tire off, and I don't know if you could tell. See that? Look at that brake pad. I apologize. I don't have a tripod for this camera, so I'm probably not going to film every procedure here, but I just want to get a shot of those brakes. They are pretty, I mean, they were pretty thin when I did the transmission, so brakes are no problem. Tie rod right here, I know that the knuckle can be disconnected because I've disconnected that when I did the transmission, so I'm going to back that nut off about a quarter or half turn, and I'm going to snug it up again. Not tight, but I just want it snug. And then all the videos I watch say if the tie rods are the exact same size, then the alignment shouldn't be an issue, as long as you put it right up against that nut and then tighten that nut down. That should preserve the alignment. It looks like to be the exact same size. And a couple little twists later, it popped right out. Look at that. All right, that's half the job right there. You can see that puppy's pretty loose. So it's about time that boot's all, you know, the shop wanted, the people who did the inspection, they quoted my brother something about over $1,300 to do front brakes and to replace the tire. I mean, come on. I'm going to get all this done, you know, what, 15, 20 minutes per side? He took it and got another opinion, and they said 900 something. I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to have somebody take advantage of my brother like that. I'm like, bro, you buy the parts, I'll put them on. I know I can do it. Holy shit, that didn't put up a fight at all. I was expecting this nut backed off with just a little bit of pressure, and this thing just screwed. Look at this. $1,300 to do this. Give me a break. I haven't disturbed the original position of the, I'll do the brakes last. I haven't disturbed the position of that, so it's another way we can have a benchmark for the alignment. Look at this. Oh yeah, look at that boot. Oh, look at that. Yep. Uh-huh. All right. And the new one we're just going to snug the new one up and then tighten the bolt down, and everything should fit together great. Now that all tightened up nicely. Went right back into the same position it was in. Nothing moved. The jam nut is tight. I got the cotter pin in, so man, it's going to take longer to do the brakes than it did to do the tie rod. Let's get this caliper compressed with these new brakes on. The old pads are pretty evenly worn. You can see the wear indicator was just about to start hitting, so yeah. The rotors are in great shape. The van always stops nice and smoothly, so we're good on the rotors. I got the new pads on, and I'm going to grease up my guiders, put them back together, and then we'll put the tire back on, and we'll check our measurement on the alignment. All right, I'm pretty sure my measurement was right on the money, so the alignment is right where it was before we started. And they were right about that tie rod. That thing is toast. So I got the driver's side tire off and get started over there. I got a little bit better view from this side. This is the side that got the new wheel hub when we did the transmission. And actually, I'll be doing another video shortly, I think. I got to do the wheel bearing. The passenger side wheel bearing on my car has been making a bunch of noise for a while. I finally ordered it this week. I got it from the same place I got this from, Detroit Axle. So shout out to Detroit Axle once again for being half the price of the local guys. And I trust her. I mean, it's been good on this car. Now we got the tie rod on this side. I'm going to loosen the jam. All right, that loosened up nice and easy. Just gave it a little tap and backed it off just to get the torque off of it and snug it up again so that we preserve the position of the tie rod. We're going to get this bottom nut off, which should come right off. Just use our puller to get it lifted up a little bit, and then boom, tie rod in. And that one here, that one too. The boot's not ripped, but it is very, very loose. So I'll spin this puppy off and get the new one on. And it is amazing to me with how long these tie rods have been on here that they're just coming right off. I just had to put a wrench on one to hold it, and then I just gave it a little twist, and man, it's coming right off. Even though these are probably, I wouldn't say the original tie rod since it's a 2005, but I mean, these are older. You can see there's a little bit of rust there. But man, I'm just so blessed and amazed at how fast this is all going. This is great. Okay, new tie rod, everything's tight. The hardest part was actually getting the damn cotter pin in. The rest was easy. Now we're going to do the brakes on this side. I got to compress the caliper. Now, a lot of people use a C-clamp for this. I've always had good luck just using a pry bar or a long screwdriver. Just get it in between the disc and the caliper and just gently pull. Put pressure on it, and you walk that piston all the way in. Make sure it's all the way in, because the new brake pads are going to be very thick. If it's not all the way in, you're going to have problems. I almost went into panic mode there. I pushed this piston back, and stuff started leaking. I'm like, I didn't cut a brake line. I think the brake reservoir must be a little too full. It's forcing some brake fluid out of the top. Yeah, we forced a little brake fluid out of the reservoir here. You can see. Thank God that's all it is, and I didn't actually bust a brake line. We'll just let it spill, We'll clean it up when we're done. At least we know the brake fluid is full. These things happen sometimes. Just a little mess to clean up. Don't you just love doing disc brakes? I mean, there's something so satisfying about popping the old pads out, putting the new pads in. Even with a car like this one, which is kind of hard to get the front one out sometimes. Yeah, oh yeah. Just about, I don't know if you can tell, just about to hit the wear indicator, so definitely needed. Again, the rotor's in good shape, there's no grooves, everything's nice and smooth, so we'll just pop the new pads in. Okay, both my sliders are greased, the new pads are in, and I don't know about that fluid, I don't know why that was overfilled, because I don't believe I've ever added brake fluid to this car at all. Probably one of these oil change places that they take it to. Probably overfilled it, but no big deal. Okay, just checking the fluids while we're finishing up. It was a little low on oil. That's not unnormal for this car. The coolant's good, and I got the engine running for a while so I can check the hot transmission. I already wiped the sticks, so let's see what this transmission looks like nowadays. Let's see. Well, it is full. And the fluid is so pink and clear. I don't even know if you could see the fluid with the camera, but it is still nice and pink, and it is on the full mark. I don't think the camera will focus on it, but it is full. So that's good news. See how it smells. Oh, doesn't smell like anything. Definitely doesn't smell burnt. Right on. Okay, on the test drive. Going good so far. You know how much I'm thrilled about that transmission fluid looking nice and pink like that after all these months. No burn, nothing. Alright, I'm on a straight stretch of road here. Wheel's pretty straight. No hands on the wheel. Let's see. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's definitely not pulling to one side or the other. But with other traffic coming into bumps in the road, it's really hard to tell. Might have to take it on the highway to... Let's see. Here we go. Here's a nice straight stretch. Okay, let go of the wheel. We're driving perfectly straight. Not pulling at all. Brakes are nice and tight. You know, when you do the pads, you got to pump it a few times just to get because you got to close that gap between the brake pads and the rotor. Everything feels smooth. Can't even feel the transmission shifting. That just thrills the hell out of me. I love it. Wheels straight. We're going straight. I understand why they have to sell you the alignment when they do the... technically, I mean, it could be off slightly, but it's definitely... I don't think I changed anything. I understand why they have to do that to warranty their work, but in my opinion, a good mechanic should be able to do it without doing the alignment. So we don't need an alignment on this thing. It's driving perfectly straight. It's not pulling. The steering wheel's centered. I can't believe they wanted to charge my brother over $1,300. That was the place that inspected it, and he got a second opinion. They said over $900. It only took me, what, a couple hours? You know, maybe an hour, hour and a half per side, and the hardest part's taking off the tire. So, it's a good day. I hope you guys are doing well. And like I say, might be another video coming up. I might have to, I gotta do the wheel bearing on my car, so I might film that. Until then, you guys have a good one.